Hello and welcome to another Monday morning art talk. So I want to thank everyone for last week and my video last week in regards to CTN, just to all the amount of comments, hundreds, just in all the different places that it was posted, and the shares and people confirming all the stories to be true and then some, which I didn't even discuss. So I thought that it really just sets a precedent there. But I also just wanted to mention, because I've read every single comment, that I had some people comment about, well, if I'm not going to go there, how can I get seen? How are my people going to see my portfolio? How am I going to get a job? And that's what this art talk is about today, because I don't want you to feel that that is the only place where this sort of thing can happen. You need to understand that this industry is huge, and with the internet we are able to reach people from all over the world and contact them. And so many of these artists, in all honesty, just make themselves available, much like myself. You're going to realize that not only do they have websites, so it's your job to find the artists that you admire, that you want to get maybe an opinion from, just to possibly reach out to them and look at their, find their email or find their website and reach out. Now, people are busy, and I'm not saying that everyone's going to be able to respond to you and give you all their time. That's not true, but it is one option, where that option never used to exist in when I was growing up. I couldn't just reach out to my heroes at Mad Magazine. I didn't know that really that you could. I know when I did send letters to cartoonists, because that's what I thought, I'm going to send it to the publisher, I never heard back, because you imagine that it sort of just gets lost in the mix. But with Facebook and Instagram and all these other ways that you can reach people these days, I also just want to let you know that there's so many conventions, and most of these artists who, again, you value their opinion, that, God, I want to meet that guy, I want to see that guy, they're posting where they're going to be. They're showing up at Comic-Con. They're showing up at WonderCon. They're showing up at DesignerCon. They're going to be showing up at just other conventions where it's not going to be as crazy and as hectic. So now, and there's not like at CTN where it's so crowded and confusing and things are mad there. You're going to be able to just talk to these people and see them at these other conventions. And most of these conventions, I go to these conventions all the time, and I see some of these big name guys. They're not that they're not busy. They're busy, but they got a lot more free time, right? They're sort of standing around and they're talking to maybe their friend, but you can go up and get your voice, get the opinion of looking at the portfolio there, reaching out for the jobs. What happens, and this is what I've been told that even was happening at CTN, okay? There's even the people who are looking at portfolios for the major studios, and one of my friends is at there. Again, I'm not throwing names around and all that, but it was sent there by the major studio, feature studio, every year. And he was basically told of who, listen, this is who's going to be, we've already seen this person's portfolio. They've already submitted it through the proper channels. So the proper channels are contacting the studio, going to their website, finding how to submit your portfolio, where the recruitment people had seen that their portfolio and say, listen, we like what we're seeing. They're going to be coming to CTN. Be sure to check them out. I never heard of people getting hired from the studios on the spot. Now, not to say that there won't be. There could be maybe one or two that this has happened to, so I'm not denouncing this. I'm also not going to denounce the fact that some people at conventions, when their stuff is so good, they're meeting other artists, where that other artist is referring them to other jobs, because they go, and I'll be honest, that happens to me all the time. But it does not just happen through CTN. I do this all the time at every convention I refer lots of artists to positions, because I'm unavailable to do the job. Otherwise, it's just not my bag, baby. You know, that's Austin Powers. It's just not my thing that I do. But hey, I met this guy at the convention, and this is why you want to make sure that you're prepared, that you want to have business cards ready, that when you have your portfolio, that you have something to leave behind with the artist, because Most jobs that you're going to get in this industry are through friends, and that's the bottom line. It's not going to be through randomly meeting someone at one of these a recruitment person at a show. It's going to be the connections you make where people, and what I'm saying is those connections are not just made at CTN. That's just not the truth. That's just not the case. They're made all year round at all different places. You could be at a life drawing session. You could be at a gallery show. You could be somewhere and you happen to see an artist go, hey, would you mind take a look at my stuff? I'm personally going to try to do what I can to make myself available at certain events to look at people's portfolios for one designer con. I'm going to see if there's something we can even set up at designer con to start creating that portfolio event. I also just kind of wanted to let you know just about another great show that's coming up, and I supported it last year and it was awesome, and it was by this girl named Eva Lacey, and she just is a go-getter. She's an artist. She's sweet. She's beautiful. And she created this expo last year called Ground Zero Animation Expo. Now, what was great about that, it was in LA. It happened in February. It's going to happen this February, the third Saturday of February. Small event, but man, was it was grassroots, and there are a bunch of people there. There's going to be, I think, even more people there this year, and even just artists that you admire are going to be there. Having the tables where you just walk up and it's so low key and it's not hectic, and the room is air conditioned, and it's unlike the tents, and it's simple, and it was $8 I think to get in for the ticket to support, and she was selling tickets, and it was awesome. And this year, I've personally just reached out and invited some of my colleagues and who have said that they're going to be there too. And it was just great. They had a food truck in the back, and it was awesome. But those are places where there's panels where you do that sort of thing. There's another guy. It's in Robinson, Illinois. He reached out to me because I encourage people to reach out to me. If you're putting on your own event, hey, let's spread it. Let's share. Let's do what we're supposed to do when we have events coming up, and we need the support of our fellow animation artists, comic book artists. Let it be known. Just let people know about it. Share these events, and it's called C4 Comic and Pop Culture Event, and that's going to be in Robinson, Illinois. So I think if you just go to C4 Comic and Pop Culture, maybe you can find some information. I know this guy's doing it all by himself. He's got the help of his family and friends, but last year was the first time. So it's just, this is where the community comes from, where we're just building up, where we're sharing these things, and then the more we know about it, the more we can go out. And I remember, and I don't have that list with me, but there was, I'm part of a group called CAPS, which is the Comic Arts Professional Society, which meets once a month in Los Angeles, and it's a fun organization. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go as often as I would like in a long time because I had my own school, and I had things I had to do, and my family. But they meet and they have guest speakers. But the president of that organization put together a whole list of every single comic book show, and he ran his own comic book show in San Jose, of every single comic book show that happens every single month, and there are hundreds of them, and they are just booming and blowing up because people want that outlet and they want some place to go. So you as an individual don't only expect and rely to go to these conventions to be seen. You need to take initiative and set yourself up there yourself and get your own tables. Sometimes they're $30, sometimes they're free, sometimes they're $50, sometimes they're $500. But you go there and you put out your wear and tears and you show people what you do, because now you're introducing yourself to an audience, and that's the goal, and that's what you want to do. This is how you build exposure for yourself, because people have not seen you yet. They don't know what you're capable of doing. You may draw the cutest little funny furry bunnies that people have ever seen in their life, and all of a sudden you chose to go out there and start selling stickers and start selling prints and have a little funny comic book, and you have this control if you want to take that control. And this is how you build your exposure to where it's not just about going to one event and getting seen and being heard. Make sure that you know what it is that you want to be and what you want to do. That's the first question anyone's going to ask you at any of these conventions. What do you want to do? You can't just say, I want to be an artist. You go to, or I want to work in animation. Well, I want to be a character designer. I want to be a background layout artist. I want to be a color stylist. One recommendation I can honestly really make, and I'm going to be very bold in saying this, is don't just say I want to be a Viz Dev artist. Everyone wants to do Viz Dev. The problem is there's just not enough of those jobs to go around, and the jobs don't really exist. What's happening is you need to have that skill set. What you want to do is you want to be a character designer. You want to be a background painter. You want to be a background layout artist. Try to hone in more specifically, because what's happening is all these people are vying for these featured jobs that just don't exist. But what does exist? Look what Netflix is doing. Look what Google's doing. Look what Hulu is doing. Look what Amazon is doing. Everyone is getting in the game to create short, quick, fast content, apps, everything. This is what's going on right now. This is the trend right now. So people need to produce, turn over fast. So they're looking for really TV sort of production type people. And if you have that portfolio that is geared more towards that TV side, well, you're going to be in better shape than constantly just trying to get that feature Viz Dev job, which doesn't even exist. Okay. So you got to be careful with that. I'm not saying that, it doesn't exist in gaming and that, gaming is just as huge, but still, it's not just that job title, which somehow is got out there in the school system, like this is the job that you have to do. So everyone wants to do it. But you look at it, oh my God, what a beautiful painting. You drew that sunset in that mountain, Mount Fiji, and you got a character and beautiful. But now what? You've shown one view, one angle. How about seeing 5 multiple angles of that, or moving characters around in space so that you have expressions and attitudes, and it's not just a finished colored piece, because everyone just wants to get to that finish. Maybe you want to be an illustrator, you want to do book illustration, you want to do covers, you want to do posters. This is a whole different aspect. There's so many positions in art, and it's again a beautiful time, because art is everywhere and people need artists for something. Your job is to just improve upon your skill, get good, so when you show it to someone, they react. And what you want that person to do is react like I do in many ways, and I'll say, you got some great stuff. You have a business card? Because I'm gonna get in touch with you next time something needs doing that I can't physically do, and I'm more than happy and proud to do that. And I love nothing more, in all honesty, I'm gonna be a little biased, I love nothing more than veering my students that have studied with me off onto these jobs. Not say that you have to be one of my students. I'm just saying it makes me proud as a teacher that I've worked with the person, that I know their temperament, I know their speed, I know things about them to where I could say this person would be pretty good for that job. But these are all things just to think about, okay? So I hope that's answered some questions, that there are other options up there for you to research, put yourself out there. Just simply ask, always ask. The answer may be no. I know I get lots of emails all the time, and I try to respond to every single one of them, and the answer can't always be yes on my point. It's one of the reasons why I started my mentorship program, where I just do 30-minute sessions, because if you're serious and you really want me to look at your portfolio, and you just don't want a 2-minute answer, and you want me to go through it with you, that's what I do with my 30-minute mentorship program, is just looking at your work and giving you suggestions as to where maybe you should push yourself just a little bit more in your artwork, and just building up that, say, character designer's portfolio, because that's my strength, is character design. I could give you advice. I don't do storyboards, but I could give you advice on doing that. And people are looking for storyboard artists, so don't neglect storyboard positions. People need storyboard artists, and these studios are looking for storyboard artists because they can't get enough of them. And that's an area to get into. And if you have some just good drawing skills, you got some good ideas, you're funny, you can add a sense of humor, you got some good shot language going on, then you're going to be a contender for the storyboard. But if you can't construct, and you can't draw, and you can't figure out ways to place the camera, you're going to be in deep trouble. So it's something you need to focus on and work on, all right? So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned. I got the most exciting book of my life coming out. I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter campaign coming up shortly. I'm so excited about this like never before. And thanks again for watching, and I wish you guys a great week. All the best, and I'll see you at DesignerCon, and I'll see you at Ground Zero Animation Expo. All right, take care. this is Steven, and I just wanted to tell you about this cool thing that I'm doing right now through my website at silvertunes.com. It's a Skype mentorship. In a sense, what I want to do is just talk to you, meet you, tell me about things that are happening in your life, see if there's anything that I could do to help you. I can look over your artwork, do your portfolio, and just maybe try to push you in the right direction that you want to take your life and your journey. All right, so you can go to silvertunes.com, go to classes, click on mentorship, and you can learn all about it. We can try to arrange a time, set up a date. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. And I just wanted to make it just very affordable, just to open it up, because I love doing this. I love meeting people from all over the planet. It's a really cool thing, and with this technology, why not? So that's it. Thanks.
Whoa! Hey! Go back. Go back.
Go back.
Great. Go back. Go.